Hey everybody, happy Saturday and welcome back to episode 8 in a series where we as a community create our very own video game. I hope you enjoyed the video last Saturday where we showcased a lot of the upcoming features that you can look forward to me implementing into Knightwatch. As I mentioned in the last video, I'm throwing together a demo that I'll be releasing soon, release date to be announced. Basically, it'll be a version of my developer room to showcase all of the gameplay mechanics I've implemented, like weapon pickup, shooting, the character customizer, that, yes, for complete transparency, we did buy from the marketplace. And actually, now that I bring up the topic of purchased assets, I'd like to speak to that a bit. And before you ask, yes, I'm just gonna jump right in. I'm not gonna do that thing that I always do where I interrupt my intro with a title sequence. So we're talking about using marketplace assets. I don't know if any of you guys out there have heard of a game called Dreamworld. It was supposed to be a medieval MMO developed by an indie developer that could host millions of players, blah blah blah, PR speak. Revolutionary stuff, whatever. Now, if you want to know more about that, I'll provide a link in the description to some other, much better YouTubers that have covered the project in a lot more detail. Anyways, to make a long story short, the Dreamworld MMO ended up being just a great big scam and a hodgepodge turducken of pre-made marketplace assets that were just hobbled together into an unplayable dumpster fire of a game. Again, if you want to hear more about it, I'll throw in some other links to channels like Yongye or Kira TV down in the description. So why am I talking about this? Well, this game, along with many others, are great examples of why developer transparency is so important. If you use store-bought assets, you gotta let people know, and don't try to pretend that you made them. Because if you do, you're kind of being a dick. And people will find out, believe me, they will. Players know how to reverse engineer code and files and peruse everything that your game is built on. So, that being said, for the sake of transparency, I'm going to make a Google Doc that will document any and all store-bought assets that we use in the game thus far, with links to the asset page and credit for the original creators. And I'll continue to update this as we need to if we buy any more assets. That way, the original creators will get the recognition they deserve, and the players of our game won't feel cheated or misled in any way, even though the game is free. And despite this, a lot of developers follow the mantra of ignorance is bliss. What people know can't hurt them. But, like I said, if you purchase store-bought assets and pretend that you made them, people will find out. And in the case of our game, if ignorance is bliss, then transparency is nirvana. Okay, so what are we doing today? Something I've been looking forward to for a very long time. Today, we're going to begin working on the armor system for our game. Now, I was going to continue working on our locomotion system today, but I was worried that was getting a little too dry, and I thought we'd take a quick break from that. So, the implementation of an armor customization system. This is exciting. So what kind of system do I want Knightwatch to have? I'm pretty sure you all know the answer already. So we're going to be implementing a system just like what's in Skyrim. I like Skyrim's armor system because of how modular it is. You don't just equip one overarching armor set that covers your whole character. You have control over components like boots, gloves, helmets, and in the case of Knightwatch, cloaks as well as chest armor and leg armor separately, as opposed to Skyrim where leg armor was also tied to torso armor. Well, our game revolves around a time period where you're consistently finding artifacts of the so-called old gods. You may find an ancient helmet that makes it easier to detect enemies, or a wearable and ancient artifact created by great warriors of centuries past that increases your hand-to-hand damage output. A system that allows you to change out armor pieces individually will allow you to equip a variety of different pieces at once and allow you to craft the character and gameplay experience that you want. Want to wear a pink cape and some bitchin' sandals with an old-timey knight helmet? No problem. Want to just run around naked and not even use the armor system? Go for it. You do you. Now, as I've said in the past, I'm not a 3D artist by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, the closest I ever got to any sort of graphic design was working on my own hand-drawn cartoon with really bad quality audio. It's pretty funny, but its production value is lacking, to say the least. No, I said f*** off. So, yeah, not a 3D artist. That means I need somebody else to make my armor sets for me. And you know what that means. So here we are back at the marketplace. Shit, that looks pretty cool. Winter Forest pack, eh? Winter? I hardly know her. So here's an armor pack that looks perfect. It looks like it's exactly what we're going to need for our game, and I think it'll fit the customization system really well. Oh yeah, this is exactly what we need.
Oh my goodness!
Hey babe, how's it going? No, I'm alright, how are you? Okay, so there's this pack on the marketplace, and I really want it for the game, but it costs a lot of money. It's like for armor customization. Well, you know how I suck at like 3D design, right? Don't agree with me. Well, can I buy it? I don't know if I want to tell you how much it costs. I mean, it's not even that much now I think about it. It's like $50 max. That's not even that much. So I can't get it. What if I do it anyways, though? You forbid it. You forbid me from buying it. So under no circumstances am I allowed to ever. And you'll never change your mind. No matter what. So we have the asset pack now, and it's time to add it to our game. Now, for whatever reason, when we imported the armor pack to our game world, it changed a couple things on us. First and foremost, you'll probably notice right away on import it overwrote our custom little obstacle course map with the default Unreal Engine map. Not really a big deal, it only took like a minute to throw together, but if you were confused about what happened here, then there you go. Next, our character has turned completely white, like a ghost. I'm pretty sure that has something to do with our skin material being overridden in the background by a material from the pack we just bought, but it should be an easy fix and we'll worry about it later. So the first thing we have to do to implement our armor system is make slots on our character for our armor to fit into. So we'll make one for a helmet, boots, chest armor, you get the idea. And we'll also need to create a node that takes whatever animation is playing on the character and applies it to the armor pieces as well. Fun fact, armor pieces in video games, more often than not, are kind of like separate characters in the game themselves. They have to be rigged and animated the same way the game character does, so when they're equipped onto your character, rather than staying completely still in a T-pose, I'll show that on screen here, they actually adhere to your character's movements. Yes, I know his nipples are poking through his shirt. I'll fix it later, just ignore the nipples. Alright, so because these all share the same skeletal rig as the default Unreal Engine character, we can use a node called setMasterPose component in our character blueprint. Basically what this does is it takes any animation being played on a character and applies it to each one of our armor pieces, which you can see here. So our master bone component, which dictates the current pose of our character mesh, is applied to every other mesh plugged into the target slot. Okay, so that's taken care of. Now for the sake of demonstration, I'm just going to randomly pick some armor pieces from the pack that I like and throw them on our character. No, I won't use the shirt that has the nipples poked through. Actually, come to think about it, I might leave this in the game as it is, and have it drop as legendary loot from a boss fight. Tell you what, if I hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month, the nipple armor stays in the game. Oh shit, that reminds me. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe and ring that bell to stay notified for any channel updates or new videos. Why the hell do people do this? I don't think I've ever, not one single time, clicked subscribe because somebody told me to in the video. What, you think just because you went on Google Images and got the exact same graphic as every other YouTuber, you're somehow special and I should watch your crap? You must think us viewers are so stupid, huh? Only a complete asshole would ever consider begging you to subscribe in the middle of a video. So that's why I stopped right in the middle of this video to beg you to subscribe to the channel. See what I did there? Alright, so we've got all our armor pieces in place and we're ready to start. So let's see how it looks. Yep, that's about right. Hang on a second while I figure this out. I seriously don't even understand what the hell's going on. It should work fine. All the slots are made and set up. Everything's plugged in properly. Like, I don't know what the... Alright, well, let's just save the game. You mother... Alright, we can wear armor now. Let's see how it looks, shall we? Alright, so we can run around the game world just fine. There's no clipping of our character mesh through the armor aside from the cape, but we can fix that later. Nice, everything looks really smooth. What, were you expecting the T-pose gag? No. It's getting old, and it's time for the channel to move past that kind of humor. We need to expand our horizons, find new ways to make people laugh while also expanding their intellectual horizons. There's smarter ways to be funny, and it's time we understood that.